I I don't. That was completely avoidable. That was 100% completely avoidable. You might have seen my video from like a week or two ago talking about how the Panthers were fumbling away the season. They get a win, and then they're going up against a divisional team fighting for a playoff spot, fighting for the 2 seed. And we could have won it. Why would you run down the clock and rely on a punter to make a game winning field goal? I get it was a chip shot, but he's missed chip shots all season. So, what makes this one any different? What logical course of thinking leads you to believe that that was the right move to make? Corbin was freaking getting multiple yards of carry on those short yardage situations. Why wouldn't you give at least one or two more tries when you're like 3 or 4 yards away from the goal line? You're 3 or 4 yards away from a touchdown. And instead of you had at least one more shot. There was 20 something, there was like 28 seconds if you just called a timeout right then and there. Give them another shot, then you call your last timeout, and if we didn't get it there, kick the field goal then, or try to run it again. And we've passed up on extra points and field goals before to go for it or go for two. Why all of a sudden, in a clutch situation, would you switch up when we've been good in those short yardage goal line situations the whole game? This whole game, once we got on the goal line, we were pretty good. Because our running backs were executing well and our offensive line was blocking well and everyone was getting to their assignments well. So why would you switch it up at the end? What logical course of thinking makes you think that that was the move you should make? That doesn't make any sense statistically. It doesn't make any sense just with the eye test. It doesn't make sense in any facet of football, any way you cut it in this situation with the context. It makes no sense. The guy isn't a kicker. He is a punter, and he's a really good punter. He is an amazing punter, probably one of the best in the USFL. But he is not a good kicker. So why all of a sudden would you trust him with this situation when you had other options that would have worked better? Just why? Why would you do that? That is so idiotic and so stupid. I don't understand why. It just doesn't make sense. If whatever perspective you're looking at it from, it doesn't make sense. The only perspective where it kind of makes just a teeny bit of sense is if you're an old-fashioned football guy and you just really don't want to risk anything, and so you decide you're just going to kick it because it's less of a risk. Even though with this kicker, statistically, it is more of a risk to kick it with him than it is to just hand it off to one of our really good running backs and try and punch it in. My brain hurts. My brain hurts from this. This is the worst game. Not as in like it was the worst we played, but it was the worst game in that we could have won. We should have won. We were on the goal line. All we had to do is just run the ball. It'd been working the past few times. Our running backs were consistently picking up chunks of yardage, even in short yardage situations. Why would you not just give it to the running back? You're willing to give the ball to the running back on like 3rd and 8, but you're not willing to give the ball to the running back on the goal line with the game on the line, when the alternative is kicking with a kicker who can't, or kicking with a punter who can't make kicks. I don't know what course of logic, no, not even a course of logic, because there was none. I don't know what course of caveman thinking goes through your brain to make a decision like that. But it's obviously something really stupid. I mean, it's not even all that last situation's fault. It's not even all Jeff Fisher's fault. It was a collective effort from everyone. Just like how I think everyone on this team at some point has done really good, everyone on this team at some point has done horrible. Shea Patterson, accuracy. Learn what accuracy is. It's where you throw the ball right in the receiver's chest area. When he puts his hands up like this, it's less of a suggestion and more of a demand. Ball here. Ball here is the most catchable ball you can throw, and unless there's a defender near them that suggests you should throw otherwise, you should throw right here. Don't know what's so complicated about that. Didn't think it was. But for Shea Patterson, apparently, his arm won't allow him to throw accurate passes. Both of those interceptions, completely avoidable. Fumbling the punt, completely avoidable. All the bad decisions we made were completely avoidable. And we just, if those problems we had in the game were potholes and the Michigan Panthers were a car, it was like if you had your 89-year-old grandmother get in a car and try to avoid those potholes. Because today the Panthers just hit every single pothole. It was avoidable. They could have turned. But instead they're like, gas pedal go vroom. And vroom they went. Vroom they went. See you guys next time. As always, I'm not funny. And go FC Cincinnati. They're the only ones doing anything right.
Just got unlucky on a few plays tonight. You know, one of those plays, I thought he was standing still, but he just hit the shit out of that one guy, and the guy went flying. They blew the whistle, and they called it on him.